Hey guys, Emma here, also known as 8vinyllow, bringing you all another video. Today's video is going to be my February vinyl haul, vinyl update video. I picked up 9 new records that I want to show you guys and update you on what I've been picking up over the last month. And I'm going to do something here that I'm sure all of you are going to absolutely love and appreciate because this is the vinyl community. We show vinyl here. I'm going to get straight into the records. The first couple albums that I've picked up are John Mayall releases. They're both limited edition releases of 3,000, and actually one of them I got number 84 to, so that's one of like the lowest numbered releases that I've ever gotten, which I thought was pretty cool. But the first release that I picked up is John Mayall and the Blues Breakers' Road Dogs. This is a fun, bluesy John Mayall album. This was originally released in 2005. This issue of the record is double LP, limited edition, like I said, to 3,000. This is number 84, if you can see it. And it comes on colored vinyl. It comes on this kind of blue and white. Matches the cover. See? Very nice. And there is a song on here called Awestruck and Spellbound. It's on the last side. It's track number 1. And that song just makes me smile and makes my day every time I listen to it. It's basically an ode to the blues idols, the idols of the musicians on this album. They reference Freddie King, they reference Buddy Guy, they reference Otis Rush, they reference Peter Green, who of course was a blues breaker himself. I have a Hard Road back here, one of my favorite albums. But that's just such a, for this blues lover, it's just such a fun song to listen to. So I totally recommend it. It's like blues nostalgia, Awestruck and Spellbound from this album, Road Dogs by John Mayall. So good. This was pickup number 1. Also picked up John Mayall, Along for the Ride, John Mayall and Friends, I should say. I'm going to try to hold this up to the camera and I want you to see, or hopefully you're going to be able to read the lineup. Let's see. So that's like a star-studded all-star lineup, and if you couldn't read a single thing off of there, it includes Gary Moore, Peter Green, Mick Fleetwood, Mick Taylor, Billy Gibbons, Otis Rush, John McVie. I could keep going. It's like a super session of amazing musicians and blues musicians. This album, it's a fun album, okay? I don't think there's anything on here that stands out to me as like, oh, that's blows my mind. But for this John Mayall fan, for this completist, and for someone who appreciates all of these musicians playing on here, it's very, very fun. So this was also, I forgot if I mentioned that or not, 2LP limited edition. I think I got number like 2,000 something, so not as fun as 84, but just a really fun John Mayall release. Also picked up, continuing my 50th anniversary reissue Kinks collection that I have going on. This is of course the Kinks Face to Face. This is their 4th studio album released in 1966. This reissue is in mono and was cut by Kevin Gray, so it sounds really, really good. And what I think I love most about this album, this is a really, really good album and release by the Kinks. What I love most about this album is this album was kind of like a new path and like a starting point, a turning point, I should say, a turning point for this band. This is where Ray Davies and his songwriting and the artistic style of the Kinks really starts to come out. Moving away from those first few releases, the early Kinks, which I still love, and starting to move into a different direction artistically and creatively. So, of course, like 2 albums after this, I think you get the Kinks Village Green, which, come on, and then you get all the concept albums kind of coming out of there. So, in my opinion, this was a huge kind of turning point for the band. Very, very good. Next release is Neil Young, Harvest Moon. This is the Record Store Day edition that came out in 2017, and it does have that etching on the back. I don't know if you can see. Oh, that's pretty good. Of the cover artwork, the silhouette there in front. It also has a gatefold, and I don't know if I have to talk up this album, but this is a absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous album by Neil Young. And when I was in my local shop and I saw this sitting here, I grabbed it right away. This was an album I've wanted on vinyl and in my collection for a while. So I've really been getting into Neil Young lately, and I wanted this because this has to be one of my favorite releases that he's put out. It's a later release, 1992, but just so beautiful and so gorgeous. So if you're into Neil Young, and I mean, I would hope that you would know this if you were into it, but if you're kind of exploring a little bit, try this. If you haven't listened to this, listen to it. Really beautiful stuff. The Lou Reed fan in me had to pick up this unofficial compilation. This was at my local shop, and I said, I'm getting that. I'd never seen this before. This is Lou Reed Pre-Velvet Underground Recordings, 1958 to 1965. And it's fun, it's quirky, it's, you know, it has that late 50s, early 60s dance craze, surf rock, fun feel to it. It's definitely not for everybody, and the sound isn't that amazing, but it's very cool for any fan of Lou Reed. And what's also neat on here is that it has a 1965 demo of Heroin. So, like I said, not for everybody, but still a super fun release if you love Lou Reed. So, had to grab this one. Couldn't leave this behind. I had never seen it before. I didn't even know that it existed. So, super fun. All right, you guys know I need some Bert Jansch. This is the debut album by the Pentangle from 1968. Of course, the lineup: Terry Cox, Bert Jansch, Jackie McShee, John Renbourn, and Danny Thompson. One of the best folk rock bands ever, and what an amazing lineup. Definitely, right, folk rock, but it also has like some incorporation and aspects of jazz and blues and a little bit of everything coming out of the influence and backgrounds of these musicians kind of thrown into a giant pot, and then you get this. So really enjoyable, wonderful album. Their sound, again, right, isn't for everybody. I really enjoy it. I love Bert Jansch. Bert Jansch isn't for everybody. But the Pentangle, just a really great band that I've been getting into a lot recently as I've been exploring Bert Jansch and his career. So couldn't leave this behind, and I got a pretty good deal on it from my local store. He kind of cut me a deal, so can't go wrong with that. Next up, one of the best electric blues albums of all time, Sweet Chicago Electric Blues. We have Magic Sam Blues Band, West Side Soul, his debut album from 1967. And again, I'm going to reiterate, one of the best electric blues albums of all time. If you like the blues, if you're just getting into the blues, if you don't really know where to start, you need to try this album out. Of course, electric blues, right, I said one of the best of all time, but it also has like almost a Motown feel to it, which I think just makes it that much better. It's a little bit different than the early chess recordings blues. It's just a different feel. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's so good. So for my blues lovers out there that don't have this, this is something that I've been meaning to pick up forever and pulled the trigger. So this is your sign to do the same thing. But then again, if you're also just kind of exploring and want to try out different albums, try this one. I think that, I mean, you're gonna like it. You're gonna like this album. So West Side Soul, Magic Sam, so good. Okay, the next one, British blues lover and me. Alexis Corner's Blues Incorporated, R&B from the Marquee, the classic, highly influential album from 1962. Right at the, well, this album, I guess, is the spark of the British blues movement in England in the 60s. It really is the spark. And this is when everybody, when this came out, started to embrace the blues. Because before that, it was like an underground thing, right? In the late 50s, underground British blues kind of movement. And this was like the spark. And then after this, that's when you start to get the Rolling Stones and you start to get John Mayall and the Blues Breakers and bands like that. So on this album, like the pioneers of British blues, Alexis Corner, Cyril Davies, Long John Baldry, like the best of the best and the absolute pioneers of the British blues movement in England. So this particular issue, if you haven't seen this cover before, I know the original has like the blue stripes on it and stuff. This is like a limited edition, collector's edition to 500. And the reason why I picked this up, which is why I thought it was really cool, is that of course it includes the original album, but it also has 4 bonus tracks. So for this British blues lover, like I'll take any bonus track you want to give me. So I picked this up. Haven't even cracked it open yet, but I'm excited to give this a listen. Last but not least, we have the Lemon Drops Sun Shower Flower Power. This is a compilation album that was released in 2010, and the Lemon Drops are basically your classic underground 60s psychedelic garage rock band coming out of the Chicago music scene in the 60s. I don't want to delve and dig too deep into this album yet because I do eventually want to do that Chicago music scene video that I've been talking about for like the past year now. I'm hoping that when summer rolls around and I have more time and I'm not teaching every day, that I'll be able to do that series. So it's in the works. I have so much research and so many notes for it, but I need to film. So that's coming soon. You'll learn more about this band, but just know, right, 60s garage rock, psychedelic, blah, 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 band. Good stuff. With that, everybody, that's all for this video. Let me know in the comments below what you think about these recent vinyl haul, vinyl update pickups, and I'll see you guys for my next video. Bye, guys.